change my life around. I need something bigger than this. I need to push myself harder than this because I don't want this to be my life. That was always the mentality for me is like, I want to be different. I want to go to school. Growing up, being Middle Eastern Arab, it was always like, own your own business. All my cousins in Chicago, they either have a cell phone store.
Be an engineer.
Exactly. One of those, or, you know, we don't have the biggest money for schools. So like my brother worked in a cell phone store. My cousins worked in a cell phone store. They all own their own stores, but they're in the hood. They're not in the best neighborhoods. And it's like, why should you have to fear for your life every day you're going to work? Like every day was different. Like we've got robbed 4 or 5 times. Or even like you said, during the protest, my dad's store got torn apart, burned down. And it was like, why should it have to be this hard to work for your money or anything like that? Like let's
like it's hard enough. We're all here together and we're all going through the same struggle. It's like
exactly. And that's why I was like, you know, I need to be different. I need to try something different. So when I took a different path, I want to be an athlete. You're an athlete, bro. You're Arab. You're not no athlete, dude. Like you're not 6'6". Blah blah.
Fly
blah.
some falcons.
Dude, exactly, bro. So it was like I said, everything happens for a reason. Everything made me to be here right now on this day, and who knows, I gotta go thank that 9-year-old kid with the shotgun one day.
Guys, welcome to another episode of Jibber with Jabber. Today, joining me on the set, Belal Muhammad. Buddy, what's happening, man?
What's up, my brother? Like I don't even call this a set. It's just, it's amazing. It's like a museum in here. It's so cool.
Appreciate that. And we're going to show you the other side soon as well.
There's another side to this?
Of course there's another side, bro. You know how we do.
Bro.
Dude, I was going to say to you, when I put my bottle here, because usually I put my bottle here so I can hydrate. And I was going to say, you might want to put your bottle next to you so you don't have to reach over for it. And then I looked down by your feet. Pull up that bottle that you got on the floor, bro.
I never leave the house without it, dude.
That's some serious hydration. That's for camping, bro. That's not even like.
Yeah, for me, like, especially when I'm cutting weight and I'm in training camp, I have to have at least 2 gallons, and this is 2 liters right here, so I have to have it by my side at all times because I never know when I'm be on the road or something like that. I never know there's gonna be bottles of water around, and we've been training at the NAS facility, and the bottles of water like this big, and I'm like, they're like little sips. I'm trying to fill up my water with it. It's like 10 of those bottles. So like, I'm glad I brought this jug.
But also when you're training though, you don't want to drink too much water, right? Because otherwise you're going to be like a...
No, for me, when I'm cutting weight, like this, I need water bad.
Yeah, towards the end, because I used to do the fitness modeling and all that stuff as well.
Oh, okay.
I was a sexy young man before, right?
I'm about to say, I see you showing a little bit of chest. You can see a little bit of
cleavage right there going on. But you know, like before the shoots, before we used to do like the shoots, is like the last couple of days, it used to be like, last week 10 liters, 10 liters, 10 liters, 8 liters, 6 liters, 4 liters, just to trick your body. So it's just like it thinks you're still bringing in all that water, but you're not. So your body's just getting rid of all of it and stuff.
Yeah, for me right now, it's just about hydration because I'm training with the Dagestanis right now, and I'm like, I'm probably losing like 5-6 pounds of water a day, and then my nutritionist like, make sure you're measuring yourself before and after, so we know how much water to get back in you because I don't want to get dehydrated in there. That's how injuries happen. It's something you pull a muscle or something like that.
But that's the difference between me and you. See, you are getting lean for performance. I'm getting lean so when I walk on Jumeirah, I got shredded and I got abs and stuff. Let's talk about the whole Dubai experience. I mean, it's not your first time here, but this time's a little bit different, right? How come you decided to do it this way?
For Dubai, this is my first real time here. The last time we were here, we were in Abu Dhabi the whole time. We were down there for 10 days, and then we were asking to see Dubai, and all the people in Abu Dhabi, no, you haven't seen Abu Dhabi. We'll show you everything around here. So they're showing us around here. And we're like, man, is there something going on in Dubai that they don't want us to see or something like that? But there were some really cool people we met out there. And this time we came out here the whole time. We're like, man,
it's a whole different
Dubai's,
world, right?
Dubai's a whole different world out here. The hospitality is amazing. The people are amazing here. And when my manager told me, you want to come down and train early with Khabib and his team, you know, I was hesitant at first because I'm like, you know, I haven't really did a full camp with a team like that. And I'm like, being away from home, different time zone, I'm like, you know, I don't know what it's going to be like. But, you know, after coming down here first 2 to 3 weeks, now that I feel it, I'm like, bro, I'm blessed to be able to do it. I'm blessed that I chose to do it. And, you know, brought my coach with me, Lewis Taylor. So I got a piece of home back here with me. So, you know, I know that he's feeling homesick. So we have each other to fall back on. And even
So
with the
selfish, dude. You're just like, if I'm gonna go through this, you're going through it too. You made it sound like it was all out of love. It's like, yeah, I brought him here, but if he's gonna feel homesick, I'm gonna feel homesick too.
Hey, he's living the lavish lifestyle
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Now he gets to see what your facilities right now. You guys got a jacuzzi, a sauna back there.
Yeah.
He's eating like a king every time we go. All their meals at the Maidan.
The big
they're
meals,
huge
right.
meals, and
The plates are like big metal plates like that, right?
literally, and then it's like buffet style desserts. Like there's a million type of desserts, cheesecakes, and he loves cheesecake. So like for me, I'm cutting weight, so I'm making him eat the cheesecake. And I'm like, yo, hey, try that
for
one
the both of us, right?
Yeah, he's like, I don't really like that one, bro. I put in like 6 pounds since I've been here for a week. I'm like, dude, just keep eating. Now he's starting to jog a little bit more. But now he's about to start getting straight up coach mode where he's gonna have that belly sitting out here, just not doing absolutely nothing.
That's the way it's supposed to be. But you know what? Like you said, the blessing of being able to train with Khabib and that team. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a fighter, but if someone told me, look, you can train by Khabib, I'd do it, even knowing that I'm just gonna get smashed, quote unquote, all day, every day. But it's just like to be like around that, because they got a different way of doing things, bro. It's like a whole different mind state, right?
I've trained all around the world. I trained at many different gyms, and like when they say they train different, they're different. These guys, they've been doing it since they were kids, and just their level of strength, their level of grappling, their level of just when Khabib walks into the room, it's like an army. Like there's no joking around. There's discipline like no other. And then also just to being a Muslim and being around all those guys, like we're training, killing each other. Then right after we're praying at the mosque right there. So like just being embracing more into the culture, into the religion has been another amazing thing about being here so early, because it just brings you closer to the God in general. And it gets your mind off of the stresses of the daily life in America, where I'll train somewhere and then somebody will call me, hey, could you come pick me up from here? Could you do this for me? Could you grab these groceries for me? And it's like, bro, I'm cutting weight. I'm annoyed.
What kind of friends do you have, bro? You're sitting there like, I got the biggest fight of my life, and they're like, listen, if you wouldn't mind getting me some apples on the way back from training, bro.
My mom is the worst. My mom would sit there and be like, oh, you got your cousin's birthday party, go to it. I'm like, I'm not going to her birthday party. It's family. It's a family thing. I'm like, I got to fight. It's like, you guys don't understand what a fight is. It's just working out. My mom will put me a plate of food that's like this big, and she'll be like, oh, just eat it. There's no calories in it. And I'm sitting there looking at how she made it. It's literally full of butter, sugar, and everything. I'm like, stop. So I miss my family, but it's better this way, where it's like I'm be like a dog in a cage, where I'm just gonna be ready to let loose right now, just because it's all gonna be worth it. It's all for a reason, and they all understand it. So like having those people around me that understand it, and having Lou with me, understanding what this fight means, and for him to leave his kids and his family behind, and he had a family vacation planned with them. They just went to the Caribbean today, his wife and daughters, and he's like, I should have been there with them, but we're here. We're here.
There's bigger pictures, right? And look, to go back on what you were saying, I grew up obviously in an Arab family, so I have an Arab mom. Let's not lie. What did she send with you when you were coming here? Because I don't even, like, my mom gets me to send stuff, even when she doesn't know people in the country. Like, you might meet somebody who might need some deodorant. And I'm like, dude, like between her and her sister, me and my brother have literally had arguments with them. Like, why are you sending Kit Kats from London to Dubai? And they have their reasons. Oh no, you see the Kit Kats in Dubai, they're made in Saudi Arabia. But this one, they taste different. And
just try it. It's
they
different.
send
Trust me,
socks,
it's different chocolate.
like underwear. I'm like, they've got shops there where they could buy socks. It's crazy, dude.
It's literally the worst. And especially when they go overseas, like they'll have the suitcase where they have to pay extra $200.
Ready.
And I'm like, what do you have in there? And they'll go to Walmart, freaking pull out the black card.
They got it ready, bro. And the
like,
suitcases.
bro, it's crazy.
And they don't get, like, your mom must have gone, put this ribbon on your suitcase, so when you're getting it from the airport, you
know which one's yours.
Yeah, right. You know which one's yours. They always have their mad ways of doing things. Let's talk about that whole Arab thing, because I always like to talk to guests about the whole, being an Arab, but being raised in a different country, right?
Yeah.
Like, how did it feel growing up in Chicago, being a Palestinian, but also needing to be Americans, to mix them together?
Yeah, it was a lot different for me, and I'm like seeing myself here and seeing the culture here, how much different it is than what I was raised in. Especially for me, I was raised in this, like, the South Side of Chicago. It wasn't the best neighborhoods, so you know, we were built differently, even with like trust. We're like, I'm always looking at when somebody's nice to me. When you're nice to me, like, hey, come here, I'm gonna send a car for you. I'm like, bro, what do you mean you're gonna send a car for me? Where's this car going? And I'm looking over my shoulder.
Somebody paid them to take me to the desert so I don't do the fight, right?
Bro,
like somebody's gambling.
Literally, we had a couple of guys like, oh, let me take you out to dinner, and I'm like, bro, I ain't going out to dinner with this guy. Who's this guy? And like, Lou's just the nicest guy in the world. So like, he's responding to all these people, and I'm like ignoring them, and it ends up being like a real thing. And I'm like, just that mindset of like, somebody's always out to get something from you, or somebody, there's nobody just being nice to be nice to me in Chicago. There's nobody in Chicago like that. And even with the fans in America, they don't embrace you as much as the fans here. Like being over here, I'll go to the mall and have a line of people just wanting to take pictures of me, and I'm like, in America, you'll have that at a UFC event or something like that, and they'll be booing or something like here. Like the first time I fought here with the Khabib and Poirier fight, like the fans there was no booing in the crowd at all. Like the fans loved everything about every single fighter, and just the respect there was crazy. There's not no drunk fans in the crowd, and that's what I love the most about it. And you know, like you said, being a Muslim, being an Arab in Chicago, like I had a lot of cousins and friends that I had to hang out with for the most part at the beginning,
and then, also half of them that are your cousins, but they're not really your cousins, right? Like, do you know how many cousins I grew up with that only when I got older, I sat with my mom, I was like, so you mean we're not related at all?
No blood at all, yeah.
Nothing at all. They're like, well, yeah. I was like, I always wondered why I had like 1,000 cousins. I was like, what's going on here? Who's doing all this, man?
Yeah, and I literally I tell everybody it's my brother. That's my brother. And they're like, wait, that's not really your brother? I've been with the person for like 10 years, and they like the American people just don't see it as that.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I just call him my brother or
auntie,
family.
Like everyone's your uncle, right?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
And then people just don't understand the culture. Also, for me, it's like I was very religious growing up, so I was like one of those kids that I would always pray all the time. And you know, being in Chicago and like you want to play football or wrestling in high school or something, it's like the people, they're looking at you weird, like, why is this guy about to go pray right now? They're looking at you like you're different. And just being here now, it's like everybody does the same thing. Everybody's praying at the same exact time. And that's what I love about just being embraced over here in the culture like that too. It's just because, like I said, it's bringing you closer to your religion, closer to God, and you know that there's no one that's going to give you a second look, or there's no hesitation, and it's going to make you go pray on time at the right time, instead of, I'll wait till I get home, or I'll wait till I do this over there or something like that. So that's what I love about being here, and that's what's different for me when I was in America and Chicago and things like that.
And that's what Khabib was saying about Khamzat, right? That you got to kind of have these people around you to kind of keep you on that straight path and
you see it. Yeah, people are hating on Khabib when he said it. He's not talking about his weight cutting. He's talking about him giving the middle finger. He's talking about him cursing. He's talking about him, money, money, money. And then dude's going to get on the mic and say, Allahu Akbar, I kill everybody. And it's like, bro, that sounds like a terrorist.
Everybody.
Yeah. I'm like,
you're like, hey, we're in America. Right now, they're still not that good. Don't say that stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, what are you on? And
the beard as well. It's like nothing helps the situation, right?
Dude. But like you're looking at the exact opposite of like Khabib, where he gets on a mic and it's like, oh, be thankful to your parents. You always obey your parents. Telling younger kids that. And that's somebody you want to look up to. That's, like I said, that's somebody I looked up to as an adult. And you just want to represent the religion in that same way that he did. So being able to be embraced with these guys now and see how close they are to it, and how all of them are on the same page has been nuts. But then you look at Khamzat, where you got him chilling with Darren Till, you got him driving around. But that's the society that we live in now, where you got guys like Sean O'Malley who's smoking weed, and he's one of the most popular guys. You guys got Khamzat, who's doing the same thing, cursing, missing weight, not caring, giving a middle finger, but one of the biggest stars. Conor McGregor getting head from his wife on camera. Yeah. That's a star.
How did you feel about that weight miss thing? Personally, were you kind of like, what was your opinion on it?
I mean, I don't think he tried. Like, you could sit there and say he was a doctor or somebody stopped it. There ain't no doctor that's going to knock on your door the day before unless you're calling them and you're telling them, look, we have an issue. But you're 9 pounds off.
That's a lot. That was a lot. I think that was the point. It's not like I was 2 pounds off, like 9 pounds. Yeah. And when you're doing something, again, when you have that goal, when you're a fighter or an athlete or a model, or you have a shoot or whatever, you know exactly where you're at. So a week out, I'm way behind, so I need to put that extra effort in.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, bro, at ounces where your body starts feeling, ounces where you're like, yo, call a doctor. I'm 5 ounces away and I can't feel myself, or I can't walk. 8 pounds away. His fat self is probably freaking eating a Snickers bar, talking about, yeah, I don't feel like doing it. Or maybe he just didn't. Obviously, I don't think he respected Nate Diaz enough to do the extra work of, let me go. Oh, I need to go run. I need to go train. Or for me, it's like I'm respecting my opponent no matter who it is, and you can just tell that if I'm fighting Nate Diaz, obviously, I don't think I'm gonna work as hard as I am if I were gonna fight like a Gilbert Burns or a Sean Brady or somebody of that style that I know it's gonna be a fight. Like Nate Diaz, Nate's like everybody wants that fight. He's Nate's a G,
and you got to remember, like, listen, the way you said that I'm not going to work like that, but gas tank wise,
but did you watch the fight though? Him against Tony Ferguson, they look like he was flabby. He didn't look like he cared at all.
But I think Nate can put on an extra 40 pounds and still be able to last 10 rounds.
Yeah, but it's you could last the 10 rounds, but what are you going to do?
What are you doing in those 10 rounds?
Yeah, it's like. Leon Edwards was tossing him around. If Leon Edwards was tossing you around, what do you think that Khamzat's gonna do to you? Like I feel like Nate went in there with the mindset like, I'm just gonna go in there, get this last check out the way, and whatever. I ain't gonna work hard for it, because he looked terrible in there. And then Tony Ferguson looked even worse. But like if Tony looked that bad and Nate looked even worse than him, it's like what would have really happened? And honestly, it could have been even a blessing for the UFC, because if Nate would have went in there, he would have got killed by Khamzat, then it would have been like, oh, Nate's still a G. He still fought Khamzat. The UFC's evil, blah, blah, blah. They made him fight Khamzat. So now they ended up giving him Tony Ferguson. He looked terrible against Tony Ferguson. He didn't look good against Tony Ferguson. I know he got the finish, but he didn't look good. So now it's like, did his stock raise or did his stock lower?
But wouldn't you have just loved to see? Okay, just in a imaginary
alternate universe,
wouldn't you have loved to see Nate win that fight?
Against Khamzat?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would have loved to see it.
I think that it's like you see these stories, right? And it's that Rocky kind of story. Like, and I would have just like, even though I knew technically Khamzat had it on him.
Yeah.
I would have just loved that. That lucky punch that comes in and then dazes him a bit, and then the slaps come out, and then he points at you, and then it's like, what a way to finish, right?
Dude, that would have been epic. That would have been crazy if that ended up happening, but. And like the way Khamzat comes out, he comes out like
see how he came out on that last one?
He comes out so hard. So it's like, if you just survive that first 2 to 3 minutes, then we would see what happens. Even with Holland, like he was scrambling a little bit, scrambling. And then I was like, man, if it gets to the second round, Khamzat, you're on a sprint the whole time. You're going to end up getting tired. I don't care who you are, especially if you had a bad weight cut and you're still big. There's no way that you're in this shape.
His flow on top of Holland, the way he was just using his torso to change the angles and stuff, that was beautiful though.
But let's not kid ourselves. Holland is not a grappler at all. Holland sucks in wrestling, and the people who beat him are bigger wrestlers, bigger grapplers. So like, and for him, he was fighting Daniel Rodriguez. He was fighting a striker himself. So I don't think he was really trained in grappling in that, but like everybody at 185, Derek Brunson, Marvin Vettori, all they did was take him down. So I like people coming at, oh, Khamzat just dominated Holland like that. I mean, like, stylistically, it was a terrible matchup for Holland. Like, I'm sure he got paid for it. I'll respect him for taking it, but like, I want to see him go against another type of guy with grappling that could defend a takedown. Gilbert Burns defended a couple of takedowns, and then it became a war for him.
Yeah,
guy that could defend a takedown. We'll see where Khamzat goes then.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm just interested about. We'll get into this next one that's coming up, dude. To go back to the whole growing up in Chi-Town, was your house? 'Cause I want to know, like, if we all have the same thing all across the world. Because my house, the second you stepped in the door, was Arab. Like, the carpets, the carpets, right? We're talking about the ones with the patterns on the corner. My friends used to come in and be like, who's that guy singing in your house? Because we used to have the clock that has that dam that goes up, right? And they used to be like, what's going on there? It was like the second you stepped out, it was two different worlds, right? Were you also like that, or did they acclimatize?
No, at the beginning it was more like that, and then my mom and dad they lived in Palestine for like 3 years when I was still like a teenager. So I was still in America with just me, my brothers, and my sister. So when that part, we were like, all right, let's get rid of that.
Some American flags out here. Let's get the Kanye West album up on the wall, right?
Yeah, it's like, all right, let's change the things to come around a little bit. But we have like a huge family in Cleveland, Ohio. So like we as younger kids, we would always go on family trips to Cleveland and be around that family over there. Is more so you're climatized to there. So over there, they're bringing everybody into your grandparents are down there. My grandparents are like, oh, you got to learn this Suda. Every Suda you learn, you get money for it.
Right? I
like,
got all of those, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, I can make money for this stuff. Like,
Exactly.
I'm all the way on Surat al-Baqarah. I'm like, the longer the surah, the more money you're getting for it, bro.
That was always the best.
Yeah,
and then, you know, we'll sit there, be driving in the car. My mom would sit there, write it down for us. We're sitting there reading it just because, you know, you're about to get paid when you get down there. Or grandma just slides
Arabic
money in your pocket.
as well.
So Arabic school was
I used to do that every weekend, bro. I used to go to the mosque and do Arabic school. And like we all had this kind of agreement. Yeah, it was tough, but they had the best chicken curry in that mosque. And we would all look forward to that all week. We're like, yeah, we're getting that curry like at lunchtime. So it's like, let's do it.
I wish we had food.
Yeah.
We were getting hit. Like anytime we mess
right.
And like I was a bad kid. So like I was always just trying to go play basketball or something like that. And then we'll go to Arabic school just for like the games. Cause we know that we'll get like a recess part of it.
Yeah, right.
So during the class, you're sitting there messing around and all of a sudden you get hit. And you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to learn this way. So nowadays,
hey, it strengthened those muscle fibers up for now, bro. You're
honestly,
talking about muscle fibers, like I'm gonna let out your biggest secret on the show because
secret juice.
You don't know. Basically, people don't know that you have an advantage before you go into your fight. So, you know, most people, they just use baby oil and Vaseline up, where you have that Palestinian olive oil that you rub on your body, right? That the second you put it on, it just hardens everything and you're just ready to go, bro. I know you got a bottle. You get sent a bottle by your mom and she's like, rub this everywhere before you get on.
Literally, I'll have like a twisted ankle. My mom was like, no, I got to massage it with zit. With zit. I'll sit there and be bleeding out of my head with stitches. I got to massage it with zit. I got to massage it.
Fixes everything, bro. It's like, all that and Vicks, bro. Vicks Vapor Rub.
And then she'll send me articles of like science behind it. See, if you got articles, then you would understand it. You guys never listen to me. There was like one time where I had like a ringworm and she like put like garlic on it. I think I'm allergic to garlic and it just like exploded all over my body. And then she's like, what's wrong with it? It's not that. It's not the garlic.
It's not the garlic. It's
it wasn't the
something
good
else.
on. It wasn't the good on. It was best for you. I was like, oh my God. And then she had like she had a cataract in her eye, and then she was telling me to
just shotting a shot glass of oil.
She was telling me to get you know somebody in Dubai, right? Tell them I need like truffle mushrooms.
Yeah, that and zafaran.
I'm like, for what? She's like, for my eye. I'm like, go to the doctor and get it removed. They have that.
I don't trust any of those.
Literally, she's like, no. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do it all the time, and
it's good enough for me.
And I'm like, they have doctors that'll do it for like 2 minutes and you'll be done. You'll be clear.
We have like lots of doctors now around. Back in those days, they were in a caravan just flying. You know, there's nothing around them.
They don't understand that now. And I'm sitting there like, well, come on. And like, I'll wear shorts. Why are you wearing shorts for? I'm like, they didn't have shorts back then.
Yeah, exactly, right?
They have shorts now. I can wear shorts now.
Not having you just like in full trousers fighting,
oh
right?
My God.
Wear the leggings.
Literally, that's what she would rather have me do it. I'm like, she's like, you better not wear that. Habib's gonna laugh at you. I'm like, oh my God.
You'd be like, don't worry, I think I know him better than you slightly, right?
Literally, right? I was like, oh my God. But you know, that's what a mom's there for.
Yeah.
So she's always there to tell you, I told you so. I told you so.
Of course. We grew up on that stuff. Like I'm telling you, my mom was the Conor McGregor of moms. That's why I'm like a black belt in chat shit too, because like I've just learned the way it is. And you know how Arab moms are, like, you know what I'm saying? They're like Italian moms, right? They're like the leaders of the family. Like even out here, it's like the grandmas that are the important ones, and then it goes down to the dads.
Yeah, like my friends would meet my dad. Like my dad would never used to hit me when I was a kid. My mom would beat me. When I was a kid, I'd be like,
my mom used to always beat me. She beat me once with a brush. The brush broke, and then she started to beat me because I broke her favorite brush. Like that's how it was. But you know what? That's the best way I think to grow up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's different about the Dagestani team now. Like what's different about your training?
Honestly, it's, you know, when you're training in America, I train at a bunch of different gyms. The gym, shout out to the gyms I train at, Chicago Fight Team and Valley Flow Striking. There's, you know, you have those days where it's like, I'm sore today or I'm tired today. I know which guys to go with that are going to be a lighter round or a round that, you know, I know I can control myself and be all right with that day. Here, there's not one easy round in the room. Every single one of these guys is a monster, and I don't care what weight class they are. Like, I'm looking at his younger brother or cousin, Umar, and I'm like, he's a 135 pounder, and I'm like, this guy is strong as heck, and he's really good. Like their technique is just like flawless with all these guys. So that's one of the crazy things. And then also it's the training is just a lot harder. It's different here. Like we're going live grappling every single day. Like even on sparring days, we're sparring 3 rounds in the cage, and it's not even like regular sparring. Regular sparring in a regular gym, you go in the cage and it's like, all right, we'll spar, but you have like the other guy sparring around you. Here it's like, no, you gotta fight. You're both in the cage. Khabib's in one corner coaching, and then Lou's in the other corner coaching me. So it's like a fight. You get that fight mentality. And all the other guys, most of the time, they're sitting there watching a little bit. They'll be drilling, but they're watching you guys spar. So you see all the eyes on you a little bit. So it's like, you know, you get that anxiety in your heart a little bit. Like,
around
this is about to be a fight. This is not like regular sparring. Like you sit there spar, like I'll smile or laugh with my boys in Chicago. It's like, oh, you got me here. Nah, you know, here you get one of them, they're gonna get it right back, and they're gonna go for it right back at you. And you know, we'll spar, and then it'll be like, all right, now we got grappling. So 3 rounds of grappling, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm dead tired, but whatever, let's go. And then we'll do 3 rounds of grappling, and then Khabib will be like, Belal, in the cage, and I'll be like, all right, what are we doing?
What cage? Do we do a photo shoot now?
Bro, yeah. And he's like, all right, we go 3 hard rounds in the cage with just him. And I'm like, you know, 155 lightweight Khabib, obviously a monster. I rolled with him back then. This 200-pound Khabib
heavier, like
is
when
just
he's on you.
Yeah, and he still has the same technique, and he's just a lot heavier on you. He still has the same cardio, the same strength. It's just a different level. So it's just pushing. And then, you know, you'll sit there after practice, and then I'll be like, man, this guy's, that was hard. And Islam's like,
I'll see you back in 3 hours, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. 3 hours later, we'll do it all again. And Islam Makhachev will tell me, like, Khabib don't understand tired. He don't understand tired. I'm like, bro, I see that now. So getting through those first couple weeks was hard, but now I feel like my body's adjusted. It's starting to realize what it's going to take, the toughness it's going to take to be able to keep up with these guys. And keeping up with these guys, there's not going to be anybody out here that's going to push me harder or make me go harder than any of these guys. Like, you have to do a camp to be a part of this camp. I feel like we were training in Chicago, you know, we were like, all right, we're going to do a drilling and a lot of stuff, getting in shape just to be in good enough shape to be able to train with these guys. Is what I feel like. So like you have to do a fight camp for
interview. Just to get in, you got to pass the quest, right?
Exactly. And you're like, bro, it's crazy. But also it's like the technique wise and just the knowledge that you're getting from these guys is another level. Because after every practice, Khabib's sitting everybody down. We're all sitting down in a group, and he's telling you, like, in sparring, you did this, this, and this. Why did you do this? You're going against the kickboxing. You're losing the kickboxing, so why didn't you wrestle? You're stupid. The goal is to win the fight. Like, why are you going to kickbox with a better kickboxer than you? There's no point. And like, everybody's seeing him call you out or put you on blast. So it's making them learn too. It's like, yo,
next
I'm not gonna
like, he ain't calling me out today.
Yeah, exactly. Like when he doesn't call you out, you're like, oh man, I did good today. Like he doesn't even have to tell you did good, but you're like, I didn't get called out. I'm getting better today. It's like going with him. We were talking with Javier Mendez, and he was like, there's not another guy that's gonna be heavier on top, stronger on top. So like, if you make him work 10% harder the next time you go with him, that's a win in your book. Like if you're making him work less, then all right, you need to fix something. But if you're making him just work 10% harder, 5% harder, if he has to do a little bit more breathing, then you're progressing. You're doing better. So then that's how I started thinking of it now. And for me, I'm not the type to shy away from anything. If I get beat up at practice, that means I'm in the right room. Like I never want to be in a room where I'm killing everybody and I'm the best person in the room, because there's no point of it. Like,
it's like that old saying, if you're the smartest in the room, you need to find another room.
Exactly. Like when I grew up, when I started fighting, like I didn't have no background when I was younger. I started fighting at 23 years old. That's when I started anything. Like I did wrestling in high school. Lewis Taylor was my high school wrestling coach, but he was there for 1 year with me. And then after that 1 year, he left because he was that younger coach, that cooler coach. But, you know, we had like a good connection. And then I was like, where the heck did he go? And he was gone. So then I was like, whatever. I went to college. I was planning on being a lawyer. And then I look at the news.
Of course. You have 3 choices when you're growing up in an Arab family. Right?
Literally. Yeah. And then I was looking at a newspaper one day, and I saw him in the newspaper fighting on Showtime for Strikeforce. Wow. And I was like, what the heck? You're a fighter? And, you know, I would watch UFC back then, but not like religiously as I do now. But so I messaged him on Facebook, and I was like, slid in his DM. I was like, hey, you're a fighter? And he's like, yeah, I'm a fighter. Stop by the gym anytime you want. And his gym ended up being like 20 minutes away from my house. So whenever I would go home and visit from school, I would stop by the gym and train with him a little bit. He'll teach me a little bit something here or there. And I'll start learning. And, you know, being Palestinian, being an Arab, you just have that competition. You love competition. You love anything like that. And I have like a addicting lifestyle where if I find something I love, I'm addicted to it.
I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on it till I'm at least the best. And then when I'm the best, I can change and do something else because I get bored because now I'm the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what? Let me transfer closer to the gym. I started training with him more. And he's like, yeah, I think you're ready for like an amateur fight or something. Started training amateur fight. And for the most part, it was just me and him training. It was like, he didn't have no training partners. He won the $1 million PFL title with just like 2 training partners. And I tell people that like if he was at a real gym with his natural talent, natural ability, he would have been one of the GOATs, the best to ever do it. I still think to me he is from what he's taught me, what he's built me up from. But like when I'm growing up as an amateur fighter and that's my training partner right there. And if you just see like how strong he is, how good he is, he's one of the best in the world. So like that built me up to be a lot stronger and built me up to what I'm doing now, where I'm training with these Dagestanis now. So it's like, I've been beat up before. I've been out wrestled before. I've been out grabbed before. I've been out muscled before my whole life. So it's like, I'm not one of those guys where they say like, have your manager like, yeah, we'll have guys come to the gym. They'll train once. They'll take their pictures with Khabib and everything. Say I train with them. Again, never come again because they don't like the hard work. Me, I love it. I'm like, oh, you beat me up? Yo, let's do it again tomorrow. Let's do it again tomorrow. Show me again tonight what you did to me. And they're, like I said, they're all helpful in that way where, we don't have the same language, but they understand what I want to learn from them, and the respect they have for me, just for being a Muslim brother, has been amazing too, because they've taught me so much and helped me so much, and they don't have to. They could just, oh, this guy's a UFC fighter, number 5 in the world. Let me embarrass him. Let me beat him up to show them that I'm better than him. But none of them are like that at all.
Dude, that happens a lot of in jiu-jitsu schools as well. Like, when people are starting jiu-jitsu, sometimes I found that a couple of people will rough you up a bit more than they need to, but really inside they're thinking, let me see if he comes back after that. Like after we physically humiliated him, not in a way where they're mean to you verbally, but let us just put him through something he's never been through before, and let's see if he comes back. If he comes back, then he's serious. If he doesn't come back, then he's not on it.
We would always do that too, because for us, it was more so when guys wanted to fight. Like when Lou brought me in, there was guys there that was there before us that he was teaching, and they were mad that he was like giving me a fight before them. And they were like, why is he fighting before us? He just got here, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, he just picks it up faster than you guys. So then we would put him in the ring, or Lou would be like, oh, you want to fight? So spar with me for 3 rounds. He'll beat them up, show them what a real fight is, because a lot of people don't understand. I even have my brothers. I have 3 brothers, and if they're, when I started winning at first, they're like, oh, give me a fight. I'm a heavyweight. I could be a heavyweight. Francis Ngannou sucks. Dude, look at this technique. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, bro, you're 5'5".
Technique,
You're 5'5". My brother like lifts weights, but like you're not an athlete like that. And I'll tell him that. So then I would teach my brothers, my cousins stuff at night. Like I'll put them through like a boot camp class, and then I'll make them spar each other. And then my brother would like beat up my younger brother, my older brother beat up my younger brother a little bit in sparring, and he'd be like, give me a fight. So then I'm like, all right, come to the gym, and I'll give you like a real, actually, like a fighter, so you spar them. And then after he fell one sparring round, he was so dead tired. He was like, Dad, I'm dead. And I'm like, I'm amazed. Like, different
1 round, bro.
Yeah, I'm like 4-ounce gloves. Like I don't care if you're an amateur or pro, or if you suck, you can still get your jaw broken. You can still get your eye socket split open. So I'm like, stuff, yeah, you can get hurt. So like if you're not really in it for the love of the sport, or try to be the best in the world, why are you doing it? Don't just do it just to get beat up. For what?
But this is the problem I find with a lot of fans, not just UFC, when it comes to football. For those of you who are American, I'm talking about football, not soccer. It's called football, right?
Oh my God.
You see these people like, oh, this guy's shit, and he's wearing a t-shirt with a giant belly, and he's just like, oh yeah, because you could do better, right? Do you know what I mean? I don't think people understand, even when they're like, oh, I mean, a lot of people have said you're a boring fighter. Now, I guarantee you most of them have never had a physical altercation in their whole life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's such thing as a boring fighter.
Exactly.
And like, people that are going to war, dude. You're trying to survive, and the smartest thing to do would be to find the best way to get through and win and finish.
Yeah. What's the easiest? That for me is
easiest route.
It's chess match.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
if people are like, man, I'm like, I 30-25 Wonder Boy. You don't ever see a 30-25. And to do that to a guy that's fought for the title twice, and you'd be, well, you didn't strike with him. I'm like, bro, he's 50-0 as a kickboxer.
But not a lot of people did that to Wonderboy before.
Exactly.
What you were doing.
And people
so
just
that was
don't
what was more
respect it.
surprising.
So like people underestimate me as a fan, and even like Dana White even said afterward, like, oh, I didn't see that one coming. And then even against Luque, where it's like, this guy knocked me out before. So what's my path to victory? I beat him on the feet too. I outstruck him on the feet, but then I took him down when he didn't see it coming down. When he thought I was going to strike, I wrestled. When I wrestled, he thought I was going to strike. So like mixing it up, that's what I think I do better than anybody in the division, and understanding what's the path to victory. These fans, they just want to see blood and guts, and they don't care who you are. Look at the crazy fighters that from the past. Look at Donald Cerrone. You look at guys like Leonard Garcia, where all their fights are wars. They were the fan favorites, blah, blah, blah. But then look at them now, where
the
they're
life of CTE, but just like
and then are these fans going to be with you 10 years down the line? They don't care about you.
Fans are very fickle, dude. Like they could turn on you in between one UFC to the other.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So the people that are with you are your family, the ones that are going to be with you in the end, the ones that when you're 50 years old and you're on need a cane to walk down the stairs. Those are the ones that really love you. Like my family, they don't care whether I win or lose, as long as I'm healthy. So those are the ones that after a loss, that's when you see who's really with you. After a loss, who's the ones that really feel the pain? Because, you know, when the fight's coming up, that's when you get all your random text messages. Hey, bro, I'm with you. I love you, bro, blah, blah. Or you win a fight. That's my cousin. That's my boy. That's my dude. But they don't never message you during camp. Hey, how you feeling? What's up, bro? Or
what's your mind state right now?
Yeah, what's going on? It's always when it comes to the fight. And then when you don't respond to them because you're in fight mode, that's when he changed. He changed. He's different.
He got
now.
That money and now he's changed.
Exactly. And I've had people too where
and you're like, I've been watching Coach eat cheesecake all week. Leave me alone, bro. Like,
literally. And then I have people too, like when you do lose a fight, that's when they'll all be like trying to talk to other people. Hey, you saw him lose? You saw him, like they're waiting in the wings for you to lose. And that's what they're happy about when you lose. And you realize there's a lot of people in your circle that were like that. And I got rid of a lot of those people at the beginning of my career. And I'm blessed now that I have a lot of real people with me now that will come with me for 4 weeks and leave their family behind just to see me reach my goal. Not his goal. He already reached his goal. He wants to see me reach my goal. So to show me that type of love, it just shows me that those are the ones I'm working for. Those are the ones I'm pushing for, because it's not just for me. It's for all of us. And I know that when I have an army behind me, an army pushing for me, like Khabib's brought me out here, paying for my hotel, paying for the food and everything. Like, he doesn't have to do that. But the fact that he is and bringing me into the circle, it's just out of love for him wanting to see me do well, see me win. And that means more to me than anything. That makes me want to, all right, I don't need that cheesecake. That makes me want to, all right, let me do the extra cardio. Let me push another extra round, instead of like, man, I'm tired. Let me just take off today. Let me just go to the beach and chill. I'm in Dubai right now. Let me hit the club or something like that. It's like, nah, like I'm out here for a reason. I'm out here for work.
Yeah, for sure. There's no better feeling of knowing that someone is doing something for you because they believe in you.
Yeah.
Like, that's the purest feeling that you can get, when you know that someone's not in it for anything. They just see something in you and they're like, you know what? I'm going to give you the gift that I'm going to make this easier for you or happen for you. And they got no ulterior motives.
Exactly. And that's a blessing. Like, just like you said, when you sit back and you look at it and you're like, dang, I'm training with somebody who I considered a mentor, an idol with Khabib, somebody that you always look up to, somebody that I'm a fan, I'm like, let me get a picture. Oh my God, Khabib signed this for me. And now I'm training with him. I'm learning from him. It's crazy how like life goes full circle. And you look back at like life, like, why did this happen or why did that happen? God makes everything happen for a reason. Everything's done for a reason.
Every moment has led to the moment you're in.
Exactly.
Like every breakup, that whole, oh, I loved her, I'll never meet anyone again. And then you just think, but if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have my wife and my kids now. Or, do you know what I mean? Like everything, no matter how all that struggle that you go through, there's always some other plan that it's going to lead you to something better.
Exactly.
I wanted to talk about the rematch with Luque. How important was that for you to get that win?
Honest, that was my title fight for me. That was one of those where it's like, I had a big winning streak. I was winning a lot of fights in the UFC and coming off a dominant win off of Wonder Boy. Like, I didn't want that fight. I was like, give me Khamzat, give me Gilbert Burns. Like, why would I want to fight a guy that just knocked me out? Like, if I lose that one, then there's no way I'm gonna get another title shot or get close to the title, because once you lose to somebody twice, it's like, dang, I suck. I'm not good. He's better than me, so what's the point of me even keep fighting? Because I'll never be champion unless he becomes champion, and there's no way I'm gonna be fight for the belt if I lost him twice already. So like that was going through my mindset the whole time. Is like I cannot lose this fight. I cannot lose to a guy twice. And obviously you could sit there and play the, yeah, maybe it was just a lucky punch. Maybe it was just a once in a lifetime thing. I've never been knocked out before, after, or before.
How do you recover from that?
It was hard. For me, it was more so hard because, I first got into the UFC and I was undefeated 9-0. And then I took a short notice fight. I lost my debut, but it was fight of the night and it was a war back and forth. Then I won my second fight in the UFC and I was like, I'm back on track. And then you're fighting at Madison Square Garden, biggest, the Mecca. They're the biggest, best arena, and it's the biggest card ever. So you're like, all right, I'm meant to be here. I'm about to be a star. And then all of a sudden you lose. And for me, it hurt most just because I had my brother in my corner with me too. My brother was part of it. And then, I didn't remember anything. I got knocked out and I like walking to the back and I was like, where the heck am I? And he's like, oh, we lost. And I was like, no. So then I'm a terrible loser. So I was like sitting there bawling. I was like, how did I just lose like that? Like, why? You're like, why? Why did this happen? Why did God do this to me? And
because you didn't bring that olive oil with you before the fight, bro. That's what happens.
You're like, why did this happen to me right now? And then you're like, maybe I'm not good enough to be here. Maybe it was all for nothing. Maybe, like I've had so many guys that, make it to the UFC and that's their goal is I made it here. At least I made it here. Then they lose and they're cut. They're done. And they're like, but they're satisfied that they at least made it there. For me, I was like, I wanted to be a champion. I don't want to just make it just to make it. And so at that point, I was like broken. I was like, bro, I don't know what the fudge is going to happen. Am I going to get cut? I was like begging for Sean Shelby to give me anything. Then after that, I got like a 2-week notice fight against Randy Brown. And then I got back on a winning track. And then from there on out, we just kept going. So when they called me with the rematch, it was weird because at first they told me I was going to fight Khamzat in London. They're like, yeah, you're fighting Khamzat main event in London. And I was like, boom, let's go. And, I'm calling my family, telling them I'll book the flights and everything like that. And then Ali Abdulaziz, my manager, he hits me up and he's like, oh, hold up, brother. Wait, there could be a change. I said, a change why? And he's like, because if you fight him, then Luque and Gilbert Burns won't have opponents and they're like best friends, so they won't fight each other. And I'm like, what does it have to do with me? And he managed all three of us. So he's like, I was like,
what conflict of interest there?
Literally, bro. I was like, then he was like, oh, what if I put you guys all on a 3-way call and you guys decide who's gonna fight who? And I was like, bro, I'm not friends with them. Like,
we're doing Zoom now.
He's like, all right, choose one. If you could choose one, I was like, if I could choose one, I would choose Khamzat because he's the biggest name at the time and he's the biggest draw. Like, like for me, it was more so what's gonna get me closer to the title. If I beat Luque or Gilbert, I know I would still have to. They'll still put Khamzat ahead of me just because he's undefeated. He's Dagestani. He's Russian. So he just has that aura about him. So I'm like, let me just go straight to him. And then if I beat him, I get a title shot no matter what. And he was like, oh, let me talk to them. And he's like, all right, no, you're gonna fight Gilbert. And I was like, all right, whatever. He's number 2 in the world. Then all of a sudden he called me again. Oh, it's you and Luque main event during Ramadan. And I was like, bro. I was like, but it's main event and it's that one. I was like, let's go. Let's get it. And like I said, obviously I want to get that one back, but then it's still in the back of your head.
Yes, it's risky because this thing is that you accept whatever fight is coming.
Yeah.
And, I had a friend of mine who I talked to. He's also, a fighter. And he was like, ask him why he just accepts fights, even if they're not going to benefit him in his career path. Because you're accepting fights that even if they were lower than you and you're just like still fighting. So it was like, why did you still do those fights? The riskiness behind it. Instead of only fighting, did you have control over that, or was it a case of, well, look, I gotta just fight?
No, for me, I have control. Like I could say no, and for me, for the most part, it's more so like my mentality is like, if I say no to a fight, am I scared? I ain't scared of this guy. Like I could beat this guy, and it's just if there's an issue with it, we'll figure out a way. It's like for me, it was like, oh, if I say no to Luque, is Real gonna think I'm afraid?
Especially after the loss as well, because you're like, oh, have I been jaded by it?
Exactly. It was like, am I afraid? I'm like, no, I ain't afraid. Let's go. If that's what they want me to fight, that's what I'll fight. And I always had the mentality like, oh no, the UFC wants to see me lose. That's what they want to give me. You're gonna give me Wonder Boy, the 50-0 kickboxer, and that was one of the fights that I was most afraid of, because you're sitting there watching his tape. His highlight reel is crazy, and I'm like, fudge. So like I worked twice as hard for a Wonder Boy fight, and then it's like, right after that, you're gonna give me a Luque, a guy who knocked me out before. Man, they definitely want to see me lose. They don't like me for some reason. They want to see me go down. And then it's like, you know what? I'm gonna prove them wrong though. I'm gonna prove them wrong. So it's my mentality. It's like, I'm gonna prove them wrong. Even with the Sean Brady fight, it was like, I was like, it didn't make no sense. Why? And then they were like, well, he's the only one that's available right now. And I'm like, what's Khamzat doing? What's Gilbert Burns doing? Well, Gilbert's gonna fight Masvidal. Still hasn't booked the Masvidal fight. I'm like, what's Khamzat doing? Oh, well, he has visa issues. And I'm like, then you heard the rumor of him fighting Nate Diaz. And I said, that doesn't even make no sense at all.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there like, I'm just going to wait. And I'll wait for one of those to play out. And then they were like, well, we'll give you Abu Dhabi. And I was like, man, I wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. Like from the last time I fought there 3 years ago, it was amazing. And I was like, I need to come back. So I was like, all right, give me Khamzat in Abu Dhabi. And even on Twitter, we were going back and forth a little bit. And he said, Nathan, August, you in October. And I said, perfect, let's go. Yeah. And they were like, no, he can't. His visa issues. And I was like, all right, well, who are you going to give me in Abu Dhabi? Well, the only ones available is Sean Brady. And then he started going jibber jabbering online, talking trash. So like I said, my mentality is, oh, you want to talk, you want to ask for it, you think it's easy. So let me show you that. Be careful what you ask for, because he put me in the same category as he was calling out Nate Diaz and Poirier, and those are guys that I think that he'll beat. So if you're thinking that you're calling those guys out and you're adding me into that list, you think you could beat me, and you think it's an easy matchup. And he was afraid to call out Khamzat, so that just made me more angry, and it pissed me off a little bit more. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's go. Let's see what this freaking juice head has to do about it. See how tough he really is, because I don't think he's been in a fight. He hasn't been in in there with an opponent like me at all. And every fight, every camp, you're learning something different. Every camp that I've had, the last 4 camps, going from Damian Maia, who's been a great grappler, going to Wonder Boy, who's been a great striker, going to Luque, who's good everywhere, and he's knocked me out before. It's built me up to a different animal, a different machine. Who's he fought that's built him up to be anything? And he's pulled out of more fights than he's fought in the UFC. So I'm like, let's go. This is another guy that's 15-0. He has a lot of hype behind him. They think he's going to be something. So if I go out there, put the work on him in front of my people, there's no denying me.
So where do you think that this is going to get you a title fight after this one? Do you think that's the only real trajectory after winning this one?
Now that Khamzat missed weight by 8 pounds, if he goes up to middleweight, then there's nobody else. But if the UFC decides to give him another chance at welterweight, then I think I still have to get through him, because, Usman getting knocked out, that puts the division on hold a little bit, because you're like,
I'm sure they're going to rematch.
He has to get a rematch, but then you have to wait to see how long it's going to happen. How long is Usman going to be out? Is Usman going to take some time off and let it heal? Remember when Manny Pacquiao got knocked out? Freddie Roach made him take a year off. So you're looking at it like, is Usman trying to get a quick turnaround? Because if you're him, it's like, I was dominating that fight. I was 30 seconds away from
he wants to just get back in
retaining it, and it's an easy path to victory. Like, all right, just punch him and then take him down. Punch him and take him down. And I think that any of the top guys will do that same thing to Leon, the same game plan. Put him against the fence, take him down. Put him against the fence, take him down. And you're looking at a guy like Leon who he gave up on himself. I don't care what people say. I don't care if people call you a hater or not. Like, dude had his head down, wasn't looking in his coach's eyes. His coach had a great speech, great push. But even with that kick, it wasn't like he went for it. He threw the kick. Yeah, obviously, it's just his natural move. But it wasn't like in the Costa against Rocco fight. They were both going for it. Let me go for the kill. I'm down and out, but I'm still going to throw bombs. Like, he didn't have that in him. It was just like, it landed a perfect shot, perfect timing, perfect thing. People say it was, I hate when people say lucky, because you train your whole life for that
there's no luck
kick. There's no luck in it. Like, you threw the kick to land it, but it wasn't like he didn't let it all out. Like, it wasn't one of those like, let me push for myself. It was 30 seconds left, and he just threw the kick and landed. But like, I think he gave up on himself before that.
So if it's a case of Leon again or Khamzat,
Oh, if it's I'd rather have Leon for the title.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I want back, especially.
What about if it's not for the title? So I know you don't like rematches and stuff, but is
Yeah.
that also a rematch that you would want because of the whole eye thing and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
I want that one so
'Cause
bad.
you look disappointed. Like, I remember, like when I was looking at the video, I was like, man, Bully looks like he just wants to cry, man, out of just like disappointment that you couldn't carry on. You just look so.
Bro, if like people don't understand what that fight meant, it was one of those things where I fought Diego Lima 2 weeks before, and then they called me short notice fight for that one, and I was like, this is my shot. Like, I've been asking for a ranked guy forever. They weren't giving me no ranked guys. They just kept dragging me along, and then I was like, he's number 3 in the world. Let's do it. And I was sitting there pushing myself, and you know, when you get your first main event, you don't know what it's gonna be like, and you know, you're doing so much media, you're pushing yourself, and you're like, yeah, I'm finally here. Like you said, everything happens for a reason. I'm in this main event spot right here on ESPN, something that people dream of. I'm on a poster. That this is what I've been dreaming of. This is what my goal has been. So I'm pushing it, and then all of a sudden, you know, you get into the cage, and you know, I lose Lou to COVID. Fight week, he was gone for COVID, and he's been in my corner every single one of my fights. So I'm like, dang, that sucks, but you know, we'll still push through it. So we get in there, the first round, whatever. People can say whatever they want. People lose first rounds. It wasn't like I was getting killed in the first round, but you lose the first round, and then the eye poke happens, and I'm sitting there like, I've had like 3 surgeries on my eye already from before that. So then, you know, the doctor would always tell you, be careful.
Stop this.
Yeah, like
look to the other side.
Stop
Right?
fighting.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there like,
it's just an eye, bro. I'm Palestinian. It's
Bro.
fine. It's like,
yeah, I'm like, bro.
I'm
Bro, am I clear to fight? Let's go.
Yeah.
And you know, I was like blind. I was like sitting there, open my eye, and I couldn't see nothing. And I was like, bro, is this how the freaking fight's gonna end? This is my first main event.
This is the climax after everything and after
literally pushing through just to get down there, because I took a lot of calf kicks in the Diego Lima fight. So we were sitting there going through a lot of rehab just to get to fight week for that Leon fight. And then, like I said, doing all that weird media stuff and things like that, it was just crazy. It was like surreal stuff. But you're like, oh, you know what? This is what main eventers do. This is what main event fighters do. You don't want to you don't want to do this stuff. Lose a fight. Don't be good. And yeah, seeing how it ended like that, and for him to go try to, you know, play the narrative like, oh, who's gonna win the fight anyway? I'm like, it's a 5-round fight, and as you see in this recent fight that you have with Kamaru Usman, how you were getting killed, and all of a sudden it took the last 30 seconds of the last round for you to win the fight. So when people say, oh, you lost first round, well, what happened to him this fight? And that's why I wanted him more so just because of the way he acted afterward, where he just trying to talk tough. Oh yeah, I was gonna win anyway, blah blah blah. I need to move on. Well, I'm past that one. And the storyline of everybody was like, yeah, you know what, maybe he was gonna win anyway, gonna win anyway. And they just like brushed me off like I wasn't good enough to be in there with him, when I know I was. I knew I was good enough to be in there with him. I know I'm good enough to beat him. And that's what angered me the most out of anything, that I didn't get another shot at him. I didn't get my time in the cage with them. And it's a foul that you created. You're the one who poked me in the eye. It's not like I poked you in the eye twice, and it's like, oh, well, you know, we gave this guy a short notice fight, and you're the one who messed it up. It's like, no, you got warned once. Some refs may even disqualified him. I would even want to win like that. But now I wish it would have happened, just so I would have got that rematch with him. Because for him, he would have had a bad taste as well. I was like, dude, I deserve a rematch, blah, blah, blah. And I would have gave it to him just because I'm a fighter, and that's my mentality. He's like, yeah, I don't want a victory like that. I don't want to.
You need to stop complaining about rematches, bro. You keep giving people rematches all the time. Stop complaining. It's one or the other, bro. Yeah, I keep having rematches or not. Yeah. How do you deal with all the haters? Because you got haters, and you know they've made you the boogeyman of the division. You know.
For me, it's like I said, I'm from South Side of Chicago. Like the school I grew up in, it was all trash talk. We all had the locker room mentality. I played football. I played wrestling. Like. We're thick skinned. We're tough. Like I said, we have our 100 cousins that we're all talking trash to. I have 3 brothers that, you know, we were always fighting growing up. So it's like, for me, I enjoy it a little bit. Like I'll sit there, I'll message my boy.
You enjoy it too much, bro. I've seen your Twitter, bro.
I message my boy. I'm like, yo, watch this, and I like say something about Conor, and because I know that Conor fans are the biggest losers in the world, and like you say something wrong about him, they'll freaking swarm on you. And I was like, he'll be like, why would you even do that? I was like, dude, I was bored. I just wanted to see what they would say.
Nothing to do. I'm cutting weight. I'm bored. There's nothing on TV.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, for the Leon fight when Lou got COVID, they had to pull him off. So then I had Saif Saud in my corner for Fortis MMA, and I'm sitting in the back. I'm tweeting. He's like, dude, why do you keep tweeting? Like worry about your fight right now. I was like, bro, we got some time right now.
I've done everything I need to do. There's nothing else I can do to prepare.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, this is what I do. This is what I. He's like, oh, that's what I like about you. You don't change anything up. That now I'm starting to notice that about you, because like he'll always message me afterward, like, dude, you tweet way too much. You tweet way too much. But like I said, for me, it's more so just having fun with it. Like I don't take it too seriously. I don't take life too seriously. So when guys will sit there and say, you suck, blah, blah, you suck. Even before the Luque rematch, all my stuff was them sending gifts of me getting knocked out by Luque.
Yeah.
Now the good thing that I got the win, now I don't get none of those gifts to get anymore. So I'm like, yeah, I got that one back. So now you guys can't do anything but say, oh, you're boring. You're a scrub. You'll get killed by Khamzat all the time. So it's like.
But look, at the end of the day, there's not many people calling out Khamzat.
Exactly. And there's not a lot of people there are people that'll say they want to fight. Like
knowing that they won't get it.
Neil Magny, like you suck. Like he's terrible. So like the fact that he keeps calling him out and like talking like he's this big game, I'm like, bro, like why? Like relax. But for me, like that's the fight I want. And I have messages in my phone of me messaging Ali like, bro, give me that fight, asking for it. And I'll post it. And people will be like, oh, you don't really want it. I'm like, bro, well, like I'm literally messaging my manager. Like, I don't know what else you want me to think.
It's the way to go forward. Like if you wanna do something, and if you want people to want it to be undeniable, then you got to fight Khamzat.
Exactly. And that's what it is to me. It's like, if I'm the best in the world, if I think I'm the best in the world, if I think I could be a champion, I gotta beat everybody in front of me anyway. So all right, you think that Sean Brady could beat me? He's 15-0. I think I could be champion. So I'm gonna walk through him. So when I do get to that title fight, how they were saying Kamaru, going through the division twice, I'm gonna be going through that division twice because I'm taking the longest road to get there.
Yeah.
I'm having to go through a 9-fight winning streak of fighting real contenders, real fighters. Not Leon Edwards fighting Dos Anjos, fighting freaking Leon Edwards was fighting Cerrone, 55ers. He's fighting Nate Diaz. That's what you're giving me. I'm fighting two guys in the top 5, Wonder Boy and Luque, and then I fought Damian Maia, who's number 9 at the time. So I'm fighting 3 guys in the top 10. Who does Leon Edwards have a win over in the top 10 before fighting Kamaru, obviously? So that earned him that title shot. But it's for me, it's like whatever. Like Desapori always says, like it's paid in full. So I know that once I get there, it's gonna be worth it even more, because I know that I took the long road to get there. There's guys that'll come in like a Khamzat, fight 2 times, 3 times in the UFC.
UFC is kind of like, if you got the look, if you sound right, if you manage to get those fans quick on your side, then they're gonna make the fight that
they can make anybody want to start.
Seems like they're gonna make the most money out of it, right?
Yeah, obviously for them it's about the money, and that's why for me I understand the business side of it. So that's why I won't get mad, or I'll understand. Why is Khamzat fighting Nate Diaz? Well, obviously that's gonna be big money for Khamzat, and I knew that if he would have won that fight, they would have given him a title shot next right away. So that's when I was like, I don't want to sit on the sidelines and have to wait to see what happens with everybody else. Because if I'm healthy, I want to be in the cage. I want to be fighting. I don't want to sit there and take a year off or 8 months off of let me just see how it plays out. Because I'm healthy. I feel like I'm the best that I've ever been at this moment. And training is harder than the fight. So you could get injured drilling at practice. A bone could pop out or something like that. And you don't know when the next time you'll be able to fight again. So like for me, it's like staying active, staying in the cage. Now. Yeah. I'm ready to go. You want to give me Sean Brady? Let's go. I'll have to walk through him.
So what are we going to expect against? I'm so hyped about that. That whole card,
man,
is just sick, bro.
Yeah.
The whole card.
As a fan, I'm looking at the card like, dang, this, like, I just want to sit in the audience afterwards.
I want to see O'Malley, bro. I want to see your fight. I want to see Islam's fight. I'm just like excited.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best card that
in a long time.
Yeah, the UFC's put on in a while. So for me, it's like I said, I need to make a statement. So, and it's more so my last 3 fighters, they're all nice guys. They're all cool. and they're some of the nicest guys in the UFC. Sean Brady, I don't like. I dislike him.
What don't you like about him?
Just the trash talk.
Let's make an Insta clip now.
Just the way that he was trying to talk tough and act tough, and you know, we've have you know, some of the same friends, and so then for him to go on, oh, you're running from me on Twitter. And, you know, Twitter is just full of morons. Like, oh, why are you running from it? And he had like a dork manager who like has like a freaking Jersey Shore tan, was like trying to comment too, like, bro, Sean Shelby says that this is the only fight to make. Why are you acting like scared for it, blah, blah, blah. And when you start saying stuff like that, I'm like, bro, scared. Like, I just fought somebody who knocked me out. Trust me, I'm not afraid of you. Like, there's nothing from you that I fear. So just all that stuff, that little bickering and trash talk, it just did nothing but piss me off. And it pisses me off more that, like I said, for me, like I always had that chip on my shoulder that the UFC is like, oh, they still don't want to build me. They still don't want to push me when I need to be pushed. I've done everything you guys asked. I've pushed myself. I built my name up on my own without your guys, you know, the Khamzat push or the Paddy Pimblett push. And I think I do have the personality to be a fan favorite like that. And the UFC, their media machine can push anybody they want. They can make anybody they want a star. So it's like, it just makes me put a chip on my shoulder. They're like, you know what? All right, I'm going to beat this white boy, freaking Juicehead from Philly that you guys think is going to be a star. He's undefeated, and you guys want to make him something.
See, well, this is the beautiful thing and the interesting thing about Twitter beef when it comes to fighters. Because a lot of people have beef on Twitters and all that stuff. But the thing I love about Twitter beef when it comes to fighters, I'm like, well, we'll find out. Like, it's like, it's going to happen.
Exactly.
So it's like everyone who's just going through and saying their stuff. And that's what I find amazing about fight is the psychology. Because every fighter in their own right thinks that they're the best. And everyone believes in themselves.
Yeah.
And you have to, because otherwise you're going into a fight thinking I'm going to lose, then that's not going to work, right? So it's interesting when it's like death, right? No matter what happens, it's going to happen to all of us. It's like when it comes to fight, it's like, okay, well, we'll find out if you're the best or not. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Exactly. You can talk all this as tough as you want, but like you said, it all comes out of the cage. And then the beautiful thing about the cage is, I don't care how great your camp was, if you had the best camp of your life, if you're not right on that one night and those 15
anything
minutes,
could happen, man.
Anything could happen. And all it takes is, we've seen it in this last year of just different random things happening to fighters where Ortega gets his shoulder pulled out of place. You got Aaron Pico this weekend whose shoulder popped out of place. Aspinall whose knee just freaking blew out. And it's like, when you see a guy like a Khabib who's gone his whole career undefeated, never got cut, never bled in the cage, it just shows you how much greater he is because this fight game is different. And
that's why they say, look, they shouldn't be like, the phrase is everyone's got a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance, right? So
exactly. And for me, it's like being Muslim, being religious, like I already have the mentality that it's God's plan no matter what already. So like I don't have the fear of, obviously everybody, you get butterflies, whatever, before you get in there, but you don't have the fear of like, oh man.
Dude, even Mike Tyson, man. Mike Tyson, look at Mike. He was, as far as anyone was concerned during his time, he was Thanos, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and even he was like, I used to be terrified before fights because fear is good. When you don't have fear, that's when you're not taking care. You're not on point. You're not sharp. You're not sharp. Yeah. That fear keeps you on the edge. Like even rock climbing. I don't know if you've ever done rock climbing before or bouldering on one of those things, but you don't want to fall. So that stuff makes you make sure you're not just like grabbing different random things. Yeah, you know that hand is going to that one right there. Yeah. And if it doesn't go to that one right there, then I'm going down there. Do you know what I mean? So that fear is really important.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched rock climbing documentaries, but we don't got mountains in Chicago.
Yeah, but in the back garden, it's fine. So
when I used to work in the hood in Chicago, I was afraid of guns. So
gun climbing, man. It's the same thing, bro. If you're not watching, when somebody reaches down, if you don't see that, if he hasn't grabbed his wallet, you better run, bro.
One crazy story. I was my cousin has a store in the hood of Chicago. It's a clothing store, and it's like a cell phone store attached to a clothing store. And we got the clothing store got robbed one day, and I was like
during BLM, right? The whole BLM thing.
Oh no, this was different. This was a different time. Yeah, my dad's store got raided during there, but this was like a robbery. So like I'm hearing next door that I feel like they're getting robbed, and I was like, I told my coworker, I think they're getting robbed next door. He's like, what, really? So like I walked outside, looked through the window, I was like, yo, they're getting robbed. Call the police. And then wait, I don't think they are gonna rob. So I open the door, and then all of a sudden, a dude has a shotgun right to my chest,
Wow.
and I was like, oh crap! And then they like.
But hey, you need a phone? We got some phones,
Bro, I'm like, bro, just take whatever you got. I'm not gonna fight with you guys. They ended up leaving, but they were like airheads because it was like during winter, and they left a trail of clothes that they stole from us to their house. Yeah. And the cops the next day told us, yeah, we got them. And I was like, oh, crazy. He's like, yeah, they were 9 years old, 11 years old, and 13 years old. And I was like, you're lying. And he's like, yeah, they were morons because they obviously left the trail of clothes. But they were kids. And I was
how
like,
things change when a gun's pointed at you? You didn't even notice it was a 9-year-old pointing a gun at you.
Literally,
it's just a blur. You see the gun in focus. Right?
That's why, and it like changed my life mentality. Because I'm like, bro, a 9-year-old had a gun on my chest, and I don't know, like they don't know what's the difference between life or death. They could have killed you right there, and it would have been a 9-year-old at a store in the hood that I'm getting paid barely anything for. So after that, I was like, bro, I need to change my life around. I need something bigger than this. I need to push myself harder than this because I don't want this to be my life. That was always the mentality for me, is like, I want to be different. I want to go to school. Growing up, being Middle Eastern Arab, it was always like, own your own business. All my cousins in Chicago, they either have a cell phone store.
Engineer.
Exactly. One of those, or, we don't have the biggest money for schools. So like my brother worked in a cell phone store. My cousins worked in a cell phone store. They all own their own stores, but they're in the hood. They're not in the best neighborhoods. And it's like, why should you have to fear for your life every day you're going to work? Like every day was different. Like we've got robbed 4 or 5 times, or even like you said, during the protest, my dad's store got torn apart, burned down, and it was like, why should it have to be this hard to work for your money or anything like that? Like
it's hard enough. We're all here together and we're all going through the same struggle. It's like
exactly, and that's why I was like, I need to be different. I need to try something different. So when I took a different path. Oh, I want to be an athlete. You're an athlete, bro. You're Arab. You're not no athlete, dude. Like you're not 6'6". Blah blah blah.
Fly some falcons.
Dude, exactly, bro. So it was, like I said, everything happens for a reason. Everything made me to be here right now on this day. And who knows? I gotta go thank that 9-year-old kid with the shotgun one day.
Yeah, for real. So with Khabib in your corner, see, it's weird. Like they make me speak different. I know it's Habib, but they make me say Khabib. With Khabib in your corner, is anything changed or is it business as usual? And also, like I was with Coach the other day and he was telling me how, sometimes he changed the whole game plan during the walkout.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? No, Coach.
Oh, Coach?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, what if you're walking down and he's like, I changed my mind. Now you do this for the whole fight. Like, do you have anything different changed about, like, are we going to see a different fighter or is it business as usual?
I mean, it's business as usual, but just to have his mindset in the corner with my other coaches, my Mike Valet from Chicago is still coming. Lou's been with me since the beginning. He's still coming. And, there has to be a mesh. Like even Ali was telling me, like, he doesn't, Khabib's corner you? No way. I was like, he's like, you don't just corner anybody. He doesn't just decide to be in this corner because he has a reputation to uphold too. So that if he believes in you that much that he's going to be in your corner, that means a lot. That means you're showing him something. So, like I said, when we're sparring in the cage and practice room, like he'll come and give me some advice in between rounds because I'm going 3 hard rounds in the cage, and he'll tell me like, do this, this, and this, and then I'll have him and Lou there, so like it gives me kind of a feel what it's gonna be like in the fight. So it's not like that. Oh crap, I got Khabib in the corner. Blah blah blah. It's not like the first time I'm having him in the corner. I'm having him at practice. I'm having a sparring in the corner. So it's not like the first time I'm ever gonna do it.
Are you also sparring with him in the cage?
Yeah,
in practice. Yeah, so you make sure you don't get any PTSD when he's coming to talk to you and tell you stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, shit, no, this time he's trying to help me, but he's not trying to.
Please don't do this. Yeah,
dude, the way he gets people up against that cage and then crosses the legs, dude.
Yeah, like when
that's called the Khabib now. It's like it's what do you do?
They changed the game. They changed the level. Now they had their own little moves, Dagestani handcuff, those little things that they brought into the sport. And like I said, when he come into the cage, we're gonna do some grappling. I was like, I'm good, coach. Like I think I did enough for
my
today.
My joints feel a bit funny today. Like
because I was like, bro, but like I said, it only levels me up. It only makes me that much better.
How do you go back from that though?
I mean, that's the thing now, where like now,
because now you're training with these people. How do you then after that prepare for another camp without them?
That's the thing where it's like, I'm getting people now.
Make
like,
sure you win. Then they'll be like, come for the next one, brother.
Yeah. Are you gonna stick with the team? Blah blah blah. And it's like, obviously, I'm a guy that trains all year round anyway, so I'm gonna have my team in Chicago no matter what. And the Dagestani team, they're all over the world. Like they're either training in Dagestan or in AKA in California. So it's like depending on where my camp is or when my fight is and where their camps are, I got to see where they are to see, you know, if I get another free room from Khabib.
Yeah, right.
Hey, coach, we gotta win.
You gotta win, man. You got more reasons to win. So, how important do you think your high school wrestling was to you in your fighting in your UFC? Because you got like a 91%.
I mean, the high school wrestling was just 1 year wrestling, but that 1 year changed my life because I met Lewis Taylor.
Yeah.
So like if I didn't meet him, like I wouldn't even probably be a fighter at this moment. But I think that for me in Chicago, I train with a lot of great wrestlers. A lot of the guys that I train with that, you know, some of them used to fight, some of them don't fight, never fought, but they're really high level wrestlers. And I think that's what built my game up. And Lewis Taylor, he's a All-American. He wrestled at Eastern Illinois.
Shout out Louis.
Shout out to Louis. Yeah. So like he was my mentor from the start. So like he told me from the start like what I need to win. And like I said, I was his only training partner when he was fighting guys on his come up. And so he needed to get a good training partner. So he had to build me up to be his best training partner. He had to make sure
that you could keep up. Yeah.
He had to build me up to be his best training partner. So, and literally always before all my fights, before the UFC, he would tell me like, this guy ain't going to hit as hard as me. This guy ain't going to wrestle as hard as me. And you deal with me, only me. So this fight's not going to be what you think it is. And it was always like that. So, you know, having him be my main training partner for most of my career is what leveled me up to this point where I am, where you got guys that Johnny Hendricks, who couldn't take down Wonder Boy, and Johnny Hendricks is a national champion. You're like, Johnny Hendricks didn't take him down, but Belal Muhammad took you down. He wrestled at Bogan High School, a city school.
Took him down every round.
In Chicago, and you're like, how?
It was every round that you got him down, right?
every round. And you're like, people are surprised by it. But like I said, I just think that my IQ is on a different level than a lot of these guys. My mentality is on a different level than a lot of these guys. And I just don't have that quit or that give up in me. If it's like, if you tell me who I need to fight, I'm going to figure out a way to beat him. For a lot of these guys, it'll be like, oh, Sean Shelby beforehand would always tell me like, yeah, I can't make guys want to fight you. Like I'll call guys to fight. They say, oh, you know, I have an injured toe. And you could always come up with an excuse. Oh, you know, I got stitches in my eye, so I'm going to wait a couple more months.
He gets stitches in his eye every 2 weeks, bro. It's like nothing new. Yeah.
Literally. But Sean Shelby would tell me that all the time. Because like beforehand, when I was on cover, I was like, bro, give me this fight. But I can't make guys fight you. Because guys could always come to excuse. For me, I'm a guy that's like, you think that he's a challenge? Let me figure out a way to beat him. And I always had the mentality that I could beat anybody in the UFC and be the best in the UFC. So like I was never shy away from any type of challenge.
How do you deal with when you're fighting this new Dagestani jiu-jitsu, right? So like before you roll with them, like we said, they have their own moves, right? That you're not prepared for because you don't know they exist.
Yeah.
Right? How do you adapt yourself to kind of pick that up? But at the same time, you can't focus too much on that, right? Because you can't spend all your time learning. You think you still need to work on what you know. So how do you balance that?
Exactly. It was different when I first got here because, you know, when you're in Chicago, you're playing jiu-jitsu. Like you have those flow rounds of just, you know, playing around. All right, flow, let me go for a couple of jiu-jitsu moves off my back, play guard a little bit. I'm a wrestler, but I like to play guard with the guys in Chicago because like I got better grappling than most of them. So I'll have fun with it. Over here, no. It's like there's no playing around jiu-jitsu. There's no play jiu-jitsu. There's no flow rows. Like they'll sit there, hold you for a full 5 minutes, and you're like, "Are you gonna do anything?" But then you realize that
they are doing
something. They just won the round. You lost the round, and I'll sit there play guard, and Khabib will yell at me like, "We're not playing guard. We're getting up. We're getting up." And then you go on top of them. They're not playing any type of guard at all. It's just to get up. It's just to move. And you start realizing that like in the fight game, that's how you win a fight. It's either getting up or holding people down. And that's what they're the best at. And that's what's going to translate well into the fight. It's not like I'm not going to play gi in a fight. There's nothing I can grab onto. So me playing those type of games, I'm not a black belt. It's like I have jiu-jitsu, but like I'm not gonna go for it in the fight unless it's like 10 seconds left in the round. Then all right, let me go for a flying triangle or something like that. But other than that, it's like don't play that game if you're not really committed to that game. And now I'm starting to realize that going with these guys, like they have the mentality they're not gonna lose a round. They're if they could hold you down for that full 5 minutes, just stay in your guard. That's what they're gonna do during the round. And for me, it's a boring round, but you just lost. And if this is a fight, you just lost half your check.
Yeah,
and it just made me change my mentality of like, we got to go. We got to go at all points. And if I could get up from these guys, I can get up from anybody.
Yeah, for real, 100%. You're a proud Palestinian, and this is the time where they play in the background. How do you feel about this? Because you've always been supporting them. You've always been bringing the flags in. Do you think it was personal that they banned the flags?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like it did have something to do with it.
Connor's been bringing out the Irish flag for how long now? People bring out flags.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I think they said it was because of the the Ukraine war, which makes sense because obviously people were up in arms about that. But for me, like I said, there's not a lot of people that support Palestine. There's not a lot of people that speak up for it
openly as well. Yeah.
Openly. So for me, anytime I have a platform to be able to do that, to be a main event, to be able to speak for the children of Palestine, the people of Palestine, and it's not like I'm saying like death to Israel or anything like that. I'm just like, save my people, help my people. They don't have no voice. I just want to be a voice for the voiceless. So when I get messages from people that, man, you carry that flag and you don't know what that means to me. I'm over here right now. They'll send me pictures of their houses that they're getting kicked out of and things like that. And it just breaks my heart because, like I said in my speech, that like that's a real fight. Those people are fighting for their lives every single day.
And have been for so long. Literally.
And it's, for me, like when I think about my daily stresses of life or anything like that, it's nothing compared to what they're going through. So when I'm sore or I'm tired, I'm looking at like, oh man, why'd I get caught at this red light? You're looking at like, how pathetic am I to be mad at that when these people are getting bombed every day, kicked out of the house every day, and nobody's speaking about it, nobody's talking about it. And if God put me on this earth, but God's given me this platform, I have to speak about it. I have to push myself to speak for them because people are going to forget about you unless you keep talking about it. People are going to forget about the country, the colors, unless you wear those colors, unless you pull those colors out of you. And that's what I'm here for. And I feel like that's another reason why that I'm being blessed with being so successful at this, is because it gives me another way to speak up for them.
Yeah, for sure. 100%, man.
Yeah. And if one of my victory speeches or one of my posts about Palestine makes one of these kids smile or makes one of these kids proud to be from there, I'm doing my job. Like,
100%.
Yeah, instead of them giving up on themselves, pushing we
Someone
got
to look
nobody
forward
for
to,
us. Yeah, we got nobody looking for us, nobody talking for us. For me, it's like I want to be able to take that belt back there. I want to be able to go down there and show them that they have a champion.
So let's talk about Remember the Show. I love that show, bro. Who would be your dream guest? Obviously, your shout out to the show, Remember the Show, with John Anik.
Yeah, Jason Anik.
Sorry.
Jason Anik, John's brother, twin brother.
Yeah. See, I could get it wrong. The twins. I got twins myself, so it's fine.
Oh, do you? Yeah. It was so funny because like when John was telling me like, yeah, you need to do a podcast with my twin brother. I said, your twin brother, and I saw him. I was like, what the heck is John with long hair?
Yeah, right.
But both.
And your guests are fire, dude. By the way.
Yeah, bro. Like I literally slide into DMs. I'm sliding into DMs all day. Hoping to get responses from anybody, and like a lot of the fighters are super cool when you slide in. Oh yeah, we'll come on the show. We'll be cool.
Come on, they're your peers, right? So it's like it's different than just a random guy. Doing it, and then you just going, hey. Yeah,
but you'll get those like game show. I don't want to do no game show, but a lot of guys love it once they come on because they're like it gets you out of your shell. It makes it fun for you. Where it's instead of like it's like a regular talking and. Some guys aren't good at that. Some guys don't want to talk.
Yeah, they get to see the side of you that they'll never be able to see because it's you having a conversation. How often will people be able to have a conversation with one of the fighters? They won't.
Exactly.
So indirectly, this is how they can.
Yeah. And it's just always cool, and it's always fun to make the memes and the face mashes and stuff like that for myself. And I love game shows. I love competition, so I know every fighter that comes on is gonna love competition. And it's always cool when you do have guys that'll message you back like, "Oh, this was amazing." Chael Sonnen has messaged me, "Bro, you're a genius for the show idea." Or Cormier was
Chael's a genius too, bro. His show, he knows how to hook people in with those.
Literally. And I tell people like, "Oh man, why did you keep pronouncing your name Belal?" And I'm like, "Bro, because he knows you're gonna comment on it. He knows you're gonna talk about it." And for me, I'm like, just keep talking, bro. I'm happy about it. You don't have to. You don't have to pronounce my name right. If you're gonna keep giving me shout outs and pushing my name, I'm cool with it. But the show was always cool. My dream guest, I think, would be Khabib.
I mean, look, you can make that happen now.
Yeah, but like I'm listening to him get calls and stuff, and then like he got invited to the NBA to do something with like Shaq. He's like, I don't like NBA. And
make a deal with him.
Shaquille O'Neal, bro.
When I win, this is what you give me for the win, right?
Bro, we're gonna be in the back after the fight. I'm gonna start the show right away.
Start recording, bro. Just start recording.
I'll be like, yo, he's gonna be in the corner, like, yeah, take him down. I'm like, brother, could you come on my podcast?
Do it in the corner. Just have a phone there, just like sitting there.
But that'll be amazing. That'd be cool. And then his personality is so good. Like he's a jokester. He's a prankster too. So it's like funny to see that side of him. Because people always see the serious side of him. So it's cool when he's always making fun of the guys or joking around with the guys. Or he'll get a guy in a submission and he's like laughing about it because like his cousin Abubakar was like, "Yeah, I'll take you down." "Oh, you'll take me down?" "Okay, take him down." Gets him in the Kimura. He's like laughing about it. And then his brother, he's like tapping. He's like, "Ha ha ha!" You tap again. I'm like, bro, I think his shoulder's getting out of place. Like, what are you doing?
I think you're gonna break him, bro.
Literally, I was like, these guys are hilarious, though.
Important question: what have you done, or have you started to prepare for life after fighting? I know that it's early, but a lot of fighters don't think about this thing, and they don't think about where does my future
exactly.
go? And fighting, anytime, anything can happen, dude. You can have an injury that's put you out and you're done. Is there anything that you have planned or anything that you would want to do?
Working the analyst job for the ESPN has been great for me. And, I think that's like the next tier of what I want to be, what I want to do. Take the Paul Felder, Daniel Cormier route of being the ESPN analyst because I love fighting.
The character for it as well.
I'm a fan of fighting in general. I'd never miss a fight. And I know so much about fighters. So like just having that useless knowledge in my head would be cool. And like I said, I think I have that Daniel Cormier personality where people makes it fun to watch.
They want to see what you're going to say next.
Yeah, it's not robotic where it's like just analyzation and numbers and things like that. I think it's a cool thing to do. Also, you always want to open up businesses, think of different little things too. It's like, I know fighting's not going to last forever. I know it's not going to be, you're not going to be a billionaire off it. So you got to do the right things now. And having like mentors like Lou, seeing what he's done with his money. He won that $1 million from PFL, still had to crack the iPhone. I'm like, bro, get a new iPhone.
I love PFL, man.
Bro, that's a huge thing too.
My boy's fighting for the $1 million next. Brendan Loughlane.
Oh, that's your boy?
Yeah. He was on a couple of weeks ago before he went to Thailand.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
That's an interesting one, man.
He looked great his last fight.
Yeah.
That's another company that changes lives of fighters where guys.
The pay's good, man.
Bro, like, how long will it take you if you would have made the UFC? How long would it take to make $1 million?
He almost did make the UFC.
Yeah, off there. But like you said, everything happens for a reason. So now him winning $1 million this year will be huge for him. And you look at guys, the guy who just beat Roy McDonald, he was a short notice guy. And he fought Roy McDonald. Now he's fighting for $1 million. And it's like gives fighters another path where guys would be like, I only want to fight in the UFC. And it's like, why? There's more money. The goal in the end is to make money. The goal in the end is to support your family. So you could sit here and fight in the UFC for this, or you could fight here for way more money and a shot at $1 million.
And get it done quicker as well, much quicker.
Exactly. But it's harder though. PFL is a lot harder. People don't
understand. You're doing a Grand Prix, man. You're like,
you're fighting 5 times in 1 year and dealing with it. It's crazy.
You might only have to fight for 2 years if you're good enough to win twice.
Exactly. But it could change your life or like. Just having that shot.
It could make you 40 years older in literally 2 years just by getting broken down. Like,
where you see some of the guys like Anthony Pettis or somebody can't make it to the end. You're like, they paid him so much money. How come he didn't do it? And it's like, you know how hard it is to fight 5 times in a year to go 5 weeks every single camp? 5 weeks and then you got another fight. Like we dealt with it with Lou. Like he had 2 fights in one night. So his tournament was a lot tougher.
Crazy.
That first tournament was tougher.
That's blood sport, bro.
Bro, he was sitting there in the back after his first fight and he's like, he still had his glove on, and I was like, bro, you want to take your gloves off? We got like 2 hours. He's like,
what's the point? I'm going to put it back on again anyway.
And I was like, you want to warm up? He's like, no. I was like, what do you mean you don't want to warm up, bro? This is the biggest fight of your life right now. We got to warm up. And then he like messaged me like, yeah, I think my hands broke. And I was like, oh, fudge. So, but
Yeah.
thankfully we went in there, got the win, got the million.
That's
and,
crazy, man.
Changed
That's
his life.
crazy. All right, let's do a quick fire round. Top 5 fighters of all time. Goats.
Goats. Khabib is number 1. I say Anderson Silva number 2.
Nice.
John Jones number 3.
Nice.
I would say Jose Aldo number 4. Jose Aldo, the original Jose Aldo was the
Yeah.
best. And then I would for me, I was never really like, everybody always says Fedor, but like I never watched Fedor back then. So like
Yeah.
he wasn't in my
It's
era.
war now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like so I wouldn't consider him that, because like he wasn't part of my time. I would say George St. Pierre.
That's very close to mine. There's only one difference in mine.
Really?
That's Mighty Mouse. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Mighty Mouse. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Mighty Mouse is good.
I'd change Mighty Mouse for John Jones. I know that's very political to say that,
Yeah,
but I just feel like what he's done is crazy.
yeah.
And I'd also change GHP for John Jones because of what he's done. The way he changed the way people train. Like, he was the first one to come out with rings and box jumps and eating fish cartilage and bringing the science into it.
Yeah.
I'm ruining this quick fire round. Top 5 favorite Arab fighters.
Top 5 favorite Arab fighters.
He's like, I don't know, 5 Arab fighters. Or which one are you most like? That's the one to look out for.
Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. I think he's the one. I've trained with him before. I've seen the work that he puts in. I think that he definitely deserves a shot in the UFC. I think his name is huge over here. He was the Brave champion for a while. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I know Brave very well, man.
Yeah.
Mo Fakhreddin is another friend of mine. He was on here as well, double champ, man.
Yeah, he's been amazing. But these new kids in the UFC now, Amir Al-Bazi, Javid, his brother Farid, they've trained with those guys, because we trained in Vegas a little bit with the Khabib and their guys when they were down there. So seeing those young kids with the way they're coming up, they have Jake Shields behind them, and they're killing it in the UFC. Like, they're good. So I think those 3 are definitely gonna be killers. But I think that AK for sure needs a shot in the UFC. Also, shout out to Ramiz Brahimaj.
Shout out.
He's Albanian, so we'll give
It's the same thing.
We'll give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast too. I train with him too. He's another monster. He's another guy that will scream Allahu Akbar after his fights.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, relax a little bit. I was
Wear
kinda-
it on a t-shirt. And that's
yeah, I
it.
was like, chill. You got all that too hot, too loud.
Yeah. Top 5 Arab destinations to visit.
Palestine number 1, but Dubai is my number 2. Dubai is up there. Abu Dhabi number 3. I do want to visit Morocco. I haven't visited
Morocco's
Morocco. Yeah, everybody tells me it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then also Turkey, I want to visit again.
Nice.
Never
I mean,
visited
it's not
Turkey.
Arab, but we'll take that one as well. Yeah. What are your predictions for the UFC? Let's talk about the main cards. You can include your
for my
one
card.
too.
Honestly, I think that it's going to be, I don't know if you consider it Anu, but I would consider it Anu with Islam. I think that Oliveira, I know he doesn't have the title, but I consider him the champion. But I think Islam's going to beat him. I think he's going to finish him, honestly. Training with him, working with him, I could see why everybody says that he's going to be better than Khabib. Like, I could see the work he puts in, having Khabib in your corner telling you everything. And
because Khabib didn't have a Khabib.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So being able to see how they mesh together, how they work together, and how good he really is, I think he's definitely going to be one of the top guys to ever do it. With the Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley fight, that's a risky fight for Peter Yan.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I'm on your side of that. I love.
Yeah,
but
Sean has great power, and his footwork and his striking is really good. Only thing that gets me is Peter Yan's very smart, and he's very disciplined with his hands, and he's good at reading you those first 2 rounds.
And he's good at prolonging rounds as well. Like, when you get your
Exactly. He's not dumb, but like the only issue with him is he's a slow starter. So if Sean O'Malley comes out hard, landing those big shots early, it could be a short night for him. But Peter Yan gets those reads, those low kicks. He's very good with them. I think Peter Yan's wrestling is really good. He doesn't use it a lot, but his wrestling is really good. And everybody always says, I want to see Sean O'Malley going against a wrestler. But I think, honestly, I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley there. I like the upset there.
I'm just so excited for this card, and I'm glad that you got me cornering you as well, so I can get myself in there in the stadium. What's your favorite meal after you step on the scale and you're done? That's it. Weight cut's done. What's your go-to?
Are we after the fight or after the
no,
weight
after
cut?
the weight cut, because you're allowed to put on some weight after that.
Yeah. After the weight cut, earlier in my career, I would be dumb. I would like go to a buffet and I would go to always Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah.
So I would get a Brazilian steakhouse. And I would be like, I'll be feeling so lackadaisical at the fight, and I always want sweets, or because I'm a big sweets guy, so I would love sweets, and I would always mess up because I would like diet for 8 weeks straight. And then I'll get to the fight and I feel like trash. And I'm like, why am I doing that? So now working with nutritionists now, they'll give me all the right things to eat. But for me, now it's more so salmon. I love salmon, just being smart with the stuff that I'm putting in my body. But after the fight, it's going bad. I love nachos.
All cameras off.
Yeah, I love nachos. We were in Vegas one time, and me and Anthony Pettis, we were teammates. And we both won on the same night. And Anthony Pettis like, yo, I got an after party at this club right here. And he's like, what do you want to come? And I'm like, I'm going to Nacho Daddy with my family. And then Lou is like, bro, you're a loser. I was like, bro, I'm hungry. He's like, dude, you know how much freaking stuff he's gonna have at that party? You got to go to the after party.
Nachos.
I was like, bro, hey, let's just go chill and even Nacho Daddy. And he's like, whatever, dude. I'll go with you. So I'm big on that. I love sweets. Love brownies, cookies. After that, like I get bad. So that first week I go binge mode, and I always tell myself right now, like I feel so good. Like I feel so good eating clean, dieting. Why would I ever want to eat bad? Why would I want to ever eat trash? And I always say I'm not gonna do it anymore. But then I always do it.
Yeah, of course you're gonna do it, man.
Especially for this long flight home, dude. This 19-hour flight home. I'm gonna upgrade to business class. And then I'm going to have me some snacks.
Like, I want a menu, please.
Dude,
I want to see what's going on.
On the way here, Lou, I'm sitting there like 19-hour flight. Lou brings a big packet of Chips Ahoy with them and like 10 bags of Ruffles chips. And I'm sitting here just eating it next to me. And then like he's falling asleep. I'm like, man, maybe just one cookie. Right. Let me just try to sneak one in there. But I was like,
no, Lou's smart, bro. He obviously like has got he spoke to the airline before. He's put some secret agents in the seats around you. They're all working for him. They're just watching you. He's like, I'm going to sleep now. You just keep an eye on what's going on.
He just like slaps my hand. Yeah, what are you doing?
It's ready to go. So what are we seeing for you after this fight? After the win?
After the win, inshallah, I think that it's either Khamzat or title. I think that there's nothing else. For me, it should be the title fight after this fight. No matter what. There's a storyline with me and Leon Edwards. It makes sense. And especially if Kamaru wants to take a little bit of time off, rest a little bit, rest your head.
Perfect timing, yeah.
Take your brain off. Yeah. I'll go right back into camp again and fight Leon Edwards. I'm motivated for the fight. Like I said, I'm a guy that likes to stay active, and especially for the UFC where they have a lot of pay-per-views and they need title fights for those pay-per-views. So when you got guys like John Jones and divisions that are held up with Francis Ngannou and stuff like that, and then you got other rematches being built like Figueiredo and what's called already being made. You need other champions to fight. So I feel like they would need Leon Edwards to take a fight. And if Usman can't do it, I think I should for sure get it.
Nice. Let's finish strong. Dream fight for you from history to now of fighters.
Dream fight, history, Conor McGregor.
Yeah?
I just want to punch him in the face. Like we've gone back and forth on Twitter here or there, but like I think that would be the one where like I would enjoy that one, just to lead up to it too, because
the trash talk's gonna be and the trolling, bro. Because you're a troll, bro. When it comes to that,
that's what I want. I was like, bro, I want to fight somebody that makes me troll, makes the lead up fun. Like even Sean Brady, where it was like he was talking all this beforehand, but now he stopped talking and went quiet. I'm like, bro, let me get some more of that trash talk because it makes it funnier for me. Yeah. Like I said, I want that. I want that type of lead up to it.
Yeah, I look forward to it, bro. Bro, I'm so hyped for the fight. I wish you all the best.
Inshallah,
we come out with the win.
Inshallah.
Yeah, man. And you got a bright future ahead of you.
Thank you guys, man. Appreciate you for having me on the show, man.
Thanks for taking out the time, man. We had to get it done, bro. We had to get it done. We'll plan for the one with the belt.
Next time
we'll put it next to my belt, man. I'm not gonna tell you where I got it from, but it's right there behind you, bro. It's just there, bro.
We'll do it in the jacuzzi next time.
Yeah, next time we'll get it done, bro. And you're more than welcome to come back on anytime. If you want another fighter on your podcast, just let me know, bro. Just let me know.
No, for sure, definitely. I'd love to have you on,
bro. I'll give you. This is a move that I've been working on. You might want to try it. And, you can take it or leave it, bro. So I've been thinking like up against the cage, right? You get the underhooks in, everything's stressed out, right? You whisper into the ear of the fight. You just say, "I love you." He gets confused, right? Lets down his guard because he's thinking, "Oh, that's nice. outside leg sweep, you're on the floor, ground and pound, it's done, bro. It's over. You can take that with you. It's up to you. You don't have to use it in your next fight, but try it. You never know, bro.
I was telling Lou, and when we fight at the Apex, there's no crowd there, it's empty. You hear everything in the corner. I was telling Lou, like, just start screaming random stuff like COVID, COVID. And like, what the heck, COVID? It's like so weird.
Cough on him when you're around.
Yeah, because you'll hear like the commentators talking,
and
it like changes everything because anything can throw you off. Like when you're walking out to a fight, like if I'll see somebody in the crowd randomly, I'll see like random girl or somebody that's like, I'm like, dang, all right, and I'm walking out to a fight, and it'll throw you off a little bit. So like just hearing random words like COVID, you're like.
Look, see, so we agree. I'm on the right.
You're on the right track right now.
I'm not going to open any of my own school yet, but if I keep bringing these up, we can get there. But bro, thank you so much for coming down, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Fire episode. It went exactly how I thought it was going to go, man. And you're more than welcome. Next time you play some football, invite me. Twist you up a little bit on the pitch when.
Bro, don't be on Khabib's team. I'm telling you that right now.
I know that they got no rules, right?
Dude, no,
like Dagestani football.
No. Their soccer is a different level. Like they're monsters. Like I was on Khabib's team. Like I never played soccer and shit. They were like, "You want to play football?" I'm thinking like, we're gonna toss the pig skid around, and they're like, "No, we're playing soccer." And they're like, "You know how to play?" And I'm like, "I mean, I know how to run. I think I know how to kick."
Don't ever accept that when you can't play, bro. If people play and you say, "Yeah, I'll have a go," nobody wants anyone that's just trying to have a go.
Khabib was like yelling at me. He's like, do something, please. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, he's like super competitive.
Just put you in goal, bro.
Bro, we were down like 5-1 the first half, and then we switched sides. Second half, Khabib scored 8 goals in a row, and I'm talking about,
bring me, bro.
Dude, over at like flipping side, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? It's
bro.
crazy.
Just next time, if you want to win, and you want to have that secret agent on your team, bro, just give me a bro.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I got my cousin coming.
Yeah. You see, but technically, like we said before, we are cousins, bro. Like no one can prove nothing for another 10 years, bro. Thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate you,
yo.
brother.
I've been AJ. He's been Belal. Boom.